This is a test extension on the question number 6 for pre-calc exam number 5B, and the question asks for finding the domain of f of x equals the square root of x over x squared plus x minus 2. So I'll be doing a different problem similar. The question is also it also asks for the domain, but I will be doing the problem that asks for this function instead. G of x equals 2x cubed minus 7 over 3x cubed plus 24. So you'll be finding the domain and range of this problem. So basically, because this is a rational because this is a rational function, to find the domain, you basically want to find the values of x in the denominator that make it 0, because a 0 in the denominator makes the function invalid. So whatever it is a 0, wherever x is a 0, it cannot be that value. So you would just find all the value in this case, you would just solve it. So 3x cubed plus 24 cannot be equal to 0. So you bring 24 over to this side, which becomes negative 24, and then you divide by 3 on both sides, and then you take the cube of negative 8, which is negative 2, and you know that negative 2 is the value you have to exclude in the domain. Otherwise, your domain is all real numbers, but x cannot be negative 2. Now, the range is a little bit more complicated because basically the method that I used was you look for the domain of the inverse function. So when you're looking for the inverse function, you swap all the values of y and x. So originally you replaced g of x with y. So this is no longer g of x, this is y. Y equals 2x cubed minus 7 over 3x cubed plus 24. And then you switch all the x's for the y's and y's for the x's, so you get x equals 2y cubed minus 7 over 3y cubed plus 24. And then you solve for y. So in this case, you multiply x and 3y cubed plus 24, and then you get that equals to 2y cubed minus 7, which is what happens down here, in case you guys don't know where we are. And then you go back up, and then you see, oh, I ran out of space. And then you multiply that out, and then you get 3xy cubed plus 24x equals to 2y cubed minus 7, and then you move around the variables to isolate your y. Basically, you get y cubed, 3xy cubed minus 2y cubed equals to negative 7 minus 24x. You factor out y cubed, and then you get y cubed parentheses 3x minus 2 is equal to negative 7 minus 24x, and then you divide by 3x minus 2 on both sides, as is here, and then you take the cube of that again, and then you get y equals to the third root of negative 7 minus 24x over 3x minus 2. So you're looking, this is not the end, this is merely your inverse function. So you're looking for the domain of your inverse function. And like I said before, in rational functions where there's a fraction, you're looking for places where x would make the function 0, because that is the value you need to exclude. So for this, you basically take 3x minus 2, and then you say that it cannot be 0. 3x minus 2 cannot be 0. And then you move 2 onto the other side, so you add 2, and you get 3x equals to 2, and then you divide by 3 on both sides, and you get x cannot be 2 over 3. But keep in mind, this is not actually x. This is merely the x of your inverse function, which is really the range, the y of your original function. So y cannot be 2 over 3, and the range is all real numbers, and you have to exclude 2 over 3 from the range. So in summary, the question asks to find the domain and range of this function right here, g of x equals to 2x cubed minus 7 over 3x cubed plus 24, and then your domain is x is all real numbers, excluding the value -2, and then your range is all real values excluding the value 2 over 3.